Greetings, Black Tuh Black family.
Blessed day world. We are black.
We are black
What going on? What
and
going on?
proud, black and loud.
What going on? More life and good health all yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
What do we can do with you?
quiet, for the most part.
Mm.
Yeah, just football and basketball. Everything winding down now, so yeah, let's take it in full doses, boy, because in May is football done, June basketball done. Then it's salt for a little while, so yeah,
well, by the time to go outside and play.
I'll take it
Go
down.
outside and sweat. Well, boy, this week was a short week for me sports-wise. My two teams going home. So, one team in football, one team in basketball. Don't get it waxed. It's not no two football team. I ain't no two football team like some of out there.
I doesn't mind people having two football teams,
But
what I just ask them is
when the two meet?
Well, sometimes they might meet, but like, you don't have like a favorite.
Yeah.
like, there's my side, but I like what that next side is, but you ain't like say Aquino and Mortal on the inside already.
All right, welcome fellas, greetings.
Right. Oh yeah, we here. Another day on the couch at Swag Elite Studios.
It's a ring tit,
Yeah.
It's a ring tit. So, well, everybody see the topic. The topic is African Emancipation Day. The addition of the word African to the holiday known as Emancipation Day. So, I think we gave everybody a little week to soak it in last week, who said their piece.
But also too is that keep in mind it's a real news don't reach people.
True, that too.
Also, look Miguel in the house, boy.
Oh, the man say he is not a chef. So I start calling them cookies or ribs.
He's a chef.
He say he call the cookies. Aye, cookies, what he say?
It has certain news this people doesn't get.
Yeah.
It has certain things people not interested in it until they hear somebody speak about it.
Right.
And I think there's one of them topics.
Yeah.
Because this topic was only discussed here in terms of the spaces and places I will be. Here is the only place that was discussed and discussed at any kind of length. Right? Before we go into that, I want to say, yes, no, Miguel. I want to say, disagreeing with somebody don't mean disrespect.
Of course not.
Right? And I want to say that first. Right? I do have to agree with everything you do. You do have to agree with everything I do. And more than likely, that will always be the case.
Yeah.
Even if we don't say it.
Yeah.
I want to preface with that because we have a culture in Trinidad of because somebody do agree to means they don't like you or some kind of thing like that. I just don't agree with this.
Yeah.
This is one of them cases and them, for me.
Yeah.
Right? I was shocked. When I mean shocked, that I had to agree with the Prime Minister. Yo. Yeah. Hey, blessed day, mommy. I'm telling you, like, over the years, listening to the politics, it hardly had things that I ever hear the Prime Minister of the Republic say that I could say, well, yeah, I agree with that. So I was real shocked. And then I was even more shocked to hear the response by Baba Kafran.
Kafra Kambon.
Right?
Yeah.
As what I tell people, whether they like him or not, it have a certain contribution that he make to this country, I say just the same thing I tell all active politicians who put themselves up for election.
Yeah.
Once you put yourself in that public space, a part of that is people not liking you for no good reason. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
So he put himself up in a space where he involved in the fight for the betterment of African people.
Right.
And I told him this already to his face. I told Sister Zakia this already. One of the faults I have with the Emancipation Support Committee is not letting Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension the world, know the things that they have accomplished.
That seems to be a problem in the African community on the whole. Because somebody was talking recently, Kiev, last week, and I had to pull him up and tell him, boy, we mean that is nothing to pat down and be shoo-shooing about and whatever. That your wife doing well. Blast your horn, brother. If you is the top of this, whatever field it might be in the region. Who the hell is you to not say?
People calling you to talk in a world summit, a world forum.
Why not? Why not? You understand? Everybody to me, I'm not telling you go out there and, you know, every time somebody talk to you, yeah. Where's the top this and where's the top that? Because now some people go not like it. Because then it go come across as arrogance.
Yeah.
You understand? Because nothing is wrong with celebrating yourself. Nothing is wrong with celebrating your accomplishments and them kind of thing. But in a situation like this, where he has, you know, what he has done, for the community in particular, it had to be that. You understand? And I just don't understand why it is they feel that let me not say why we feel that we must have this level of reverence when it comes to our accomplishments. You understand? Because we're trying to tread light because we don't want to upset nobody. That way it is.
Yeah.
No.
And that is a problem within the black community. Celebrating your own success is seen as showing off.
Yeah.
That's why more and more you see the line war hang around winners so that when you celebrating your success, it doesn't sound like bragging.
Yeah.
Because the little things now we were never really taught to clap for others, revel in others' success, be glad for people.
Yeah.
And my mother online, I always want to give she this props and I want to give she this in front of everybody. One of the lessons that my mother teach me that I really take is don't jealous and envy nobody. And that's something that really stay with me, boy. Like nothing you have is a bother to me.
Same.
Right?
Yeah.
And I want to give my mother props for that now. So we go back to this whole issue here now. So as I said, I have told them to their faces because I don't ever want to come across disrespectful. In my younger days, good Lord, I didn't care. You know, but you get older now.
Yeah.
Two things into play here now. I get older, and as I practice in Orisha Devotee, a big part of Orisha devotion is respect and reverence to your elders.
Yeah.
But they also have to give you something to respect. Again,
respect don't mean total agreement.
Right. I saying all these niceties for when we get into it.
Yeah.
Right? I saying all of that to say nothing that I will say after is meant to be disrespectful. Right? I want to say it louder again. The Emancipation Support Committee, one of their biggest failures, in my opinion, and I leave room to be wrong, is not sharing with the country in a very informative way outside of emancipation the accomplishments of the Emancipation Support Committee. I mean, Trinidad and Tobago, you know what people still now finding out? That Trinidad and Tobago is the first country on the planet saying Earth doesn't like it, doesn't get reached to them on the planet to make Emancipation their national holiday.
Yeah.
So now we jump into this year now, where the Prime Minister of the country made a statement saying that they're going to rename Emancipation Day African Emancipation Day. I hear you.
Right. So, Baba Kafran says he disagrees with the move to rename Emancipation Day. Right. So I print out the article because I'm not going and paraphrase nothing, and I want we to deal with each segment as we go along, right? So it said, this was announced yesterday by Prime Minister, which is the 19th, right? Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley during a post-cabinet media conference at the office of the Prime Minister in Port of Spain. The Prime Minister said it was a cabinet decision that the day is a commemoration of the emancipation of slaves on August 1st, 1834. Rowley said the time has come for us to make it quite clear what emancipation means and who is being emancipated. You want to deal with this?
No.
Let me go ahead? All right.
Go from there because it's the other part that...
The next piece, right?
Yeah.
He said that he had noticed internationally that others were attempting to climb onto the emancipation bandwagon and attempting to add appendages to it.
Right, so that part I would deal with.
Right.
It hard to ignore the fact that you have states in America. And we will always have to talk about America because Trinidad and Tobago, whether we want to say it or not, is a follow fashion society.
Yes.
You have states in America that changing the history.
Yeah.
That you can't refer to certain things by things. So to certain places you can refer to it as slavery.
Yeah.
To certain things you can refer to the people as slaves. Even though that's where it was. Right? So it's striking it out. So let's say you have a 5-year-old child now entering into school. And that is completely so. Let me say they're totally ignorant of what we learn about our history. By the time that child is 10, 11, 12 years old into teenage, they're not able to say in that manner that people from Europe left Europe, went to Africa, kidnapped people.
Hundreds of thousands.
Right? That turned out to hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions, yeah.
Right? Because Dr. John Henry Clark have it at 100 million. Over the period now.
Right.
Right? And then brought them here.
Right.
And enslaved them. For nearly 400 years in the most brutal act of savagery from human to human.
Yeah.
That 13, 14-year-old child will have no clue of that because the wording would not suggest that. So, in making that reference of people trying to add appendages and things, that's what my mind gone to now because that's really happening in the world today.
Yep.
Right? We also seeing a decline in news media, like what we call mainstream news media.
Yeah.
We've seen a humongous decline in their coverage of what is anything to do with African history. But we also at the same time seen an increase in social media pages that are doing it from the historical perspective where they go in and get in and some learned people, some educated people like to ask you, where's your reference, where's your source? So I'm following pages like African Stream.
Yeah. Love that page. Love that page.
Right?
Yeah.
Where
and they are unapologetic about it.
That last line there, read it. That alone for me is a thing because everything that we do, people just jump on it. Look at the carnival. So it's not far-fetched.
Yeah.
I remember years ago somebody said, I can't remember who said it, if we're not careful, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King would be depicted as white in the near future.
Yep.
And this is also something that could happen, that the emancipation celebrations might be skewed for we grandchildren. Like they might know that it's your ancestors that was in bondage, and the freedom that we're talking about is for your ancestors. So to me, from that aspect, I have no problem with adding African in front right now.
Right.
But it's also more other thing. I also think that we need more things saying African.
Of course. And I agree, because as we go further into this document, this article, we will see why that is important. Because of the statement made by Brother Cameron, right? So the second page goes on to say, he said that since the country has led the world in making Emancipation Day a
and this
public
would be
holiday.
A continuation of Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Rowley still speaking, right? Emancipation Day, public holiday. He wanted to make it clear that emancipation in Trinidad and Tobago is as a result of the emancipation of slaves. There is no comparison between slavery and any other form of human indignation. The Prime Minister said, "We are descendants of slaves and we have a duty to preserve our history, our legacy, and to make our claim without apologies to anyone."
So this thing I want to add there is we were not descendants of slaves. We were descendants of people who were enslaved.
Enslaved.
That's the only thing I would change in that. But that's the truth.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, I couldn't believe that.
He had that in it.
No, not that,
Yeah.
I thinking honestly that I in some kind of
Twilight
paradox, something, and it's just wrong.
Yeah.
And these is actually the words Brother Kafra Kamon.
Yeah.
And in saying that because they don't want to name it African Emancipation.
Yeah.
Because that there is what I am expecting to hear
from
Brother Kafra Kamon.
Yeah.
You know, not historians say that. I give you something to tie into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Adolf Hitler,
mm-hmm.
they say were responsible for the massacre of 6 million the small cap people.
Right.
And that is something that is remembered. You can't even talk about them here. We have to say all kind of different kind of way to describe them.
Yeah. Otherwise,
you understand?
Yeah.
Otherwise, the ADL coming for you, this, that, right.
Yeah.
But Leopold
mm-hmm.
went into Belgium. Went into Congo. Leopold was the king of Belgium, went into the Congo. And it is estimated he killed about 10 million Congolese people in his mad thirst for. He had a big ego problem.
And robber. Yeah.
At that time was robber.
Mm-hmm.
The ego problem was everybody had something to say, well, we controlling this part and this way again and thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then robber was 10 million people.
Yeah.
That is not even something mentioned in history.
Yeah.
Or on a regular way people could know, boy, Leopold, Belgium,
Yeah, no, we don't stick it in their face.
Right.
Which is why I was saying just now. We don't broadcast it. Like we history and we keep it that for ourselves. Me and you alone must talk about it.
But we sympathizing with the small cap people who we could understand this and understand that, but cannot understand what we went through. But it is also pushed aside. Right? So that's why this here for me is important and necessary.
Yeah.
And I want to go into Mortel comment one time. Right? Mortel say that the change means nothing. We are still slaves spiritually. Mortel, I agree with that, but I wouldn't say the change don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Why?
I can't say that.
You know why the change? We can't say the change don't mean nothing.
If the change didn't mean nothing, the East Indians and them would have leave a rival day as a rival day. They would have never make a push to get it as the East Indian Arrival Day, along with many other things.
Right.
But go ahead, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you there.
It had to have things. We can't be saying on one hand we want more African thing.
And then when we get it,
because I still want African holiday. I make it clear, Emancipation Day, African Emancipation Day is not an African holiday.
Right.
It's the remembrance and the celebration of the fact that some of our ancestors fought and gave their lives
for that
fighting
freedom.
This brutal thing called slavery for us to be freed from chattel slavery. Right? I still clamoring for a national African holiday tied to something
African,
uniquely African, like how Chief Olakia Masatunji and them was pushing for Shango Day. Right, we could still bring back that. We don't even need to invent nothing new.
Yeah,
because he still have all the paperwork and everything for it.
Yeah,
right.
Just resubmit it.
Yes, right. We still need a national holiday, but what we're saying is we still need things with African in it tied to it here.
Yeah.
We spirituality, we know that they're not changing nothing spiritually.
Yeah.
They're not changing nothing spiritually. But it is also forcing you to use the word. Well, you can remember the first time in your life you used the word Africa?
Africa?
Yeah.
Or African?
Any one of them?
No.
As a child, up to
not even success.
I wrote on Africa because Mr. Smart gave us a essay to write, and never forget, and he talked about it. right as if you was living in Africa when the first set of people came to kidnap Africans.
Yeah, my history teacher was nonsense, so.
Right? And I always remember that now.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I was in Form 5, so I was 16 going in 17. That was the first time I used the word Africa and African. And then it wasn't used again after exam.
Yeah.
I wasn't used again.
Yeah. Not even in the household.
Till I go to meet my biological father.
Yeah.
So this was saying it needs to have more things saying African.
Yeah.
Because while I have no problem with black, we still need more things saying African.
Yeah. Right, so this is where the things start to get a little sticky. So Brother Kafra says, we did not see the need for the change. Former chairman of the Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago, ESCTT, Kafra Kambon, who had lobbied for Emancipation Day as a national holiday, said society was already aware that the holiday was rooted in African history and the African community. Speaking with the Express by telephone, he said the Emancipation Day had national and international appeal. Kambon said the decision of the decision to rename the holiday, I would not have gone for it. If they do it, they do it. I like things that add value. I did not even know a decision was made. I know there were discussions. Now, this little paragraph here for me is ego. Right? Because nobody not saying that they should not have included you in the conversation. Right? But the fact that they didn't include you, you feel slighted for whatever reason. Right?
But you know, there's one that probably the only thing I feel that when I really think about it, that he should feel slighted. None of the people who making the decisions to change the name now was involved in the process to lobby for it to be a holiday.
Right.
And all of them was alive at that time. Right? From that aspect, and I thinking if Baba Kambon saying he didn't know, then more than likely the ESC didn't know neither.
So no, he said he knew there was discussions.
There was discussions,
right? But
he didn't. That means Sister Zaki and them wasn't involved in the discussions.
Right.
The more thing about apartheid, yes, you had to feel slighted. You went and fight for this.
Right.
You just leave Trinidad and go and show other people we just do here so that they could have these kind of celebrations. I know that because I talked to some of the people involved with the ESC, that they show people how to do a Pan-African festival like what we just do for Emancipation. Anything in and around that, you should be consulting. Can you see anything happen around Diwali, that the East Indian community and the organizations that we know are actively involved in running the Hindu celebration of Diwali? Can you see them not being
is it
contacted?
Is it different?
Well,
them starting this conversation. That is the difference. And this, which is my problem with it, the original discussion should have been this. It should have never been just Emancipation Day. You understand? That's how I feel about it, because
right, but when we're talking that today,
I know
30-something years later, and
I get that.
Always say 2020, 2020 vision, you're looking back.
Right. But based on the discussion we had with Sister Zakia when she came, that is where I holding on to, Because remember, all you say, all you is for emancipation. All you is not for African people. All you don't fight, and all your thing is not for the whole diaspora, And I holding on to that. Because the reality is, when the East Indians and them, when the arrival day thing happened, I don't even think them was the ones who decided to have the arrival day, So me that did happen under Kamla, I could be wrong.
No, that was on Pandey.
Under Pandey, right, UNC, right? So, you create the holiday, and then only make a move to change it.
I don't know why I still thinking it started off as Indian arrival day. To me, and then the arrival day cut off the Indian. I don't know why.
Now it's Indian arrival day.
Right, but to me that's where it started off originally.
As Indian arrival? No, I don't remember that.
And then they cut it to arrival, which I don't find makes sense, because we actually have a day that we could pinpoint
that the East Indians came.
Why not say I have no problem celebrating?
I have no problem with that.
I have no problem with that at all.
I have no problem with that.
Right? But I still say that, as I say, the more I think about it,
right,
you should be involved in anything that revolves around.
Yeah, respectfully, they should have right here and say, hey, big man, come in, we having this discussion, we're looking to change the name of the thing.
Because then you are able to give this a reasoning as to why not.
Yeah.
I personally would extend an invitation to Baba Kambon to come here. Because I would like to hear his further take on this. Well, this is just excerpts from our phone conversation.
Right.
And from them excerpts, I don't agree with it at all.
Yeah.
I would like to hear
the position.
Yeah.
So you go on to say, Kambon said the decision to rename. No, we talked that already. I don't think anybody who has been associated with the decision wants it to be seen as exclusionary.
No, it is not.
This is where I have the problem, right? But let me go now. I don't think anybody did it with the intention of saying it is only for Afro-Trinidadians. The whole country knows it is rooted in African history. It's well established as Emancipation Day. He added, there was never any confusion in anybody's mind as to what the celebration is about. It has always been associated with and about the African community. It is totally understood that it's a national celebration about a commemoration of emancipation of Africans. It has been that way ever since. It's about my history and I relate it. The whole community should celebrate without losing sight of it. He said, are we to say non-African? Are we saying to a non-African they should not get involved in it? That's not the message we want to send. But by its definition and its organization, we know it is rooted in the African history and the slavery experience.
Before you go any further,
please.
And again, this is where my disagreement comes in now. Like, now I know Baba Kambon and them, because just Sunday was the 54th anniversary. All they are long doing this thing. You know, all they use all their intellect at that time, all their life and thing on the line. But we reached the 2024. We give thanks for that, right? And some of the things all they fight through didn't change.
Right.
And one of the things that we have to do is acknowledge ourselves. We have to hear ourselves.
Agreed.
Right? So, like Brother Kambon do something that I've been saying I want to do for the last probably 5 or 6 years. Change the name.
Yeah.
Right?
What was the original name?
Dave Dabro. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But the importance of, we're not trying to exclude nobody. No matter, bread, Trinidad, so sweet. We can say what we want. Pagua. None of my Indian friends post up they went any Pagua celebration. Not one. But if you see how much of my African friends in the paint up and thing. Same thing for Emancipation. I never watch East Indian people walking through the village looking uncomfortable in any way. Because you know where you're coming. Right? Are there African things not changing? When we go to the Nagar, we know where we're going.
And you know, because you know we like to dive in the comments. So I went in the comments under this, on the Facebook page. And you know where's the commentary underneath it? Rowley do this because election coming and he playing the race card. How you arrive at that?
No, I'm not going there. You know why I'm not going there? Whereas we expect that from them. I know we spend time on that.
I know, but I'm just saying that the certain mindset of
and then on top of that now, when one person say that, all the attention going there and all the comments going on follow that day. Nobody not really going on talk about like this. Like, all right, so we have this now. Like, what we're gonna have now because Jaja Onilu had some ideas to open and do certain things. And we have a Emancipation Heritage Park that is real underutilized. And what we gonna do? Because if you rename the holiday, the piece of land in what we just call the ancestral land in Lupino, that is the Emancipation site #1 or something. So then you have African on that too.
Yeah.
I mean, let me go.
Yeah.
Because African people need things to hold on to in the country.
Right.
And this is not to exclude anybody.
Yeah.
to make anybody feel out because not too far from here, we could go and see a man there.
But right around the corner.
That's what I said. Yeah. I just pass there sometimes 2-3 times for the week. I don't feel no kind of how.
No.
I don't feel like it making me feel excluded. And I know exactly who it's for.
Correct.
So why we again and they see that silent conforming thing, man. Right? And that's what I feel about this. That's why I say I would love to get Baba Kambon to come. Because that's why I seen it as today now.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a silent kind of conforming.
Because you're not trying to upset nobody.
Nah, it has certain things we will do for ourselves that we will upset people. Imagine we were just living in a town, or let's say we don't want niggers here. And I'm using them terminology earlier.
Yeah.
Because we started talking plain sometimes.
Yeah.
They didn't say, yo, African people, we don't want to hear. No, they said, we don't want to hear niggers here. So we had no choice as African people but to come together and form our own. So we started trim by so agreed, we know we an experience, get music and music production from Sheldon Mendoza, get graphics from Ian.
Eaten by cookies.
Oh God. You understand? But everything, because they didn't want us by them, we were forced. I want them jamming this to come so. Not so, you know, but we'll come so. And form that nice wall. And then it started to happen.
Why them doing that?
So no, before it reached there. So I get it started to go so. So they had to open another branch, had to train more people. Nubian experience started to go so. Had to hire more people, train more people. And all the others started to go so. So now you come back and look at the tongue of people that you say we do all the wrong way. Because if I'm away, I ain't seen caring on them at all. Because why? We don't have no need to come to all here.
Yeah.
But when you come now and you see how good we live in, you start to have a problem with it. That's what I say, and I will use this opportunity to say it again. The worst thing African people the world over do is beg to be included.
Yeah.
Integration was the absolute worst thing that we do. And this, my mind going to that because I just gain that same vibes again. Like, I don't want to step on no toe or not like, yo, it are things we have to do for ourselves.
That's right.
It are certain ethnic groups in this country of Trinidad and Tobago who not here as long as us. The oldest people on this land longer than us is the Tiano. But they have spaces and places for themselves that you and I can go. And you know, I not vex them for that. I watch all the directly. I not vex them for that. You know why? Because they show you know how to live. But all they rushing to try and go by them. Imagine you trying to go in a club and party, right? And a man come outside doing so.
And leaving you out.
And the man that dark like this,
yeah, he had to stay
outside. But the man that
and he have all the same clothes like all of them.
Same everything, I see this thing for myself right here. We don't need that in 2024.
Yeah.
After people like Baba Kafra Kambon, Clive Nunes,
Teixeira.
Huh?
Not Teixeira, sorry, you see them?
I
see all the names on the jersey.
Yeah, on the jersey that I do not, but my mind.
Daga.
Makanda, Daga, I mean, Mansa Musa. After what these people do, then we had the people behind the scenes. There are people like Karega Mandela and them, Brother Resistance and them, Chief Olaki, Amasatunji Ita Osa, all of them was actively involved in some way or form of action, but not in the forefront. After all of that, Brother Cameron and them get locked up.
Yeah.
They get locked up. None of time. This is 2024. None of time to be worried about people feeling excluded. Make it clear that was not an exclusionary thing. We just want to make it clear what it is.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Or some people you can't say maths to them. You have to say mathematics.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. We still running on this, and I have a real problem with that, boy, as we go forward here, boy.
Yeah.
Because all of that is why certain things just not seem to be getting bigger.
You know how I feel about that.
54 years ago, just 8 years after independence, I was always had to jam that in,
Yeah.
Just 8 years after all this supposedly fight for independence, but we know better than that.
Mm-hmm.
African people in Trinidad and Tobago were still being marginalized and sidelined. So they had to rise up, which is what Brother Kafra Kambon and them did. And I eternally grateful for them because and that next thing too, telling of these stories, boy, when you listen to some of the things that these people
went through
at that period of time. After you fight like that, now it's not no time to come now and well, we know we don't exclude. We're not trying to exclude anybody. If you sincere about
what you doing,
ignore justice and equity, I tell them plain. I'm making my father here. I don't want no equality. Because a man who have $10 million put on just for any little thing.
Yeah.
I have nothing I could do running to catch up to that just so right now on equality. But equity go for we in the same place.
That's right.
Right? We is the time for fearing and stepping on toes. We're not trying to step on toes. But the time for fearing that you might step on a toe by saying something is African. So well, then I wonder if by that logic, if you would be hesitant to have to help put your name and your voice behind a authentic African holiday.
But that's why I feel, that is why I say what I say just now. When they said to us, when we asked how come this and how come that and all, they say, well, remember, we is really for emancipation. We is not, like the same thing we partners tell me, the party is not the black party. It's the same thing, right? You want to deal with this alone. You understand? If we deal with this, yeah, they could call me. But if we not dealing with this, nah, we don't really want to get involved with that and thing because we don't want we suffer jump up. You understand? No. Before you go, let me say this. That is one of the problems I have with the particular day and the village, right? The same problem I have with Soca Monarch, the same problem I have with all of the subvented events that the government does give money to. You understand? Because as much as I know Nagara does get money, I know them don't need that money. When them get our money, well, right, we could do extra thing, because the money we get from all the booths, the money we get from whether we have an entrance fee or not, the money we get from wherever we were selling on the day.
No, that ain't covering. What is covered for them is donations. The people coming and contributing.
Right. No, but I'm saying, if King, motorways businessmen, you do a t-shirt line, I have a barber shop. If the government gives me a subvention, I just say now $100,000. Next year, I am not looking to them for nothing because I take that $100,000 and I invest that in my business so that my business don't have to call on them again, right? But if we have an agreement that every year you giving me $100,000, cool. But that don't mean that the $100,000 you gave me last year, it's not going on do what it has to do. You understand?
I know that is as a vendor at the Emancipation Village.
Yeah.
I know that is a touchy thing because what I have seen in the last 2 years from Sisters out here is something I really appreciate. Which is, we ain't going to give you exact figures, but of course, they'll tell you can get that. But she's trying to show us, especially as the vendors, just exactly what they're dealing with, where you feel you could get from what the government give you.
Right.
This year, I am hoping that since you make this big thing about, I am hoping that you do have them scraping.
Give me the money.
Give us the money. Because the Pan-African Festival, TT, which is what we just call the Emancipation Village, is something that the country needs.
Of course.
And we also need it outside of emancipation. That's why I know that they're lobbying to get their own grounds where we don't have to be asking this one and we might be displaced because like when Carrie Festa was here, the village was outside and all kind of thing. Your own home ground is absolutely necessary, right? I am hoping that with this, and you come up and say things, because I see another comment here, like I'm not the only person can't believe that. Really fine with stuff. Go to some comments here. Right, blessed day, my mother say blessed day.
Auntie mommy.
Right, Aquino laughing, Mortel say the change means nothing right here. Aquino say, man tongue wrap up and having to agree with the PM. We are telling you about Aquino, boy, no joke, boy. I couldn't believe it. Right? Mortel say economically disenfranchised by our own ethnicity. And that's something we have to deal with, but for now, that is a little outside of this. We have to deal with that, eh?
Yeah.
Because it has some of we just get into certain places and positions and then turn around and drop shit on me. Alright, but we go do that next time. Then he say, when we don't need a birth certificate, passport, or any form of constructual government documents, then and only then will we be free. Mortal, we will never see that in real life.
Yeah, brother, forget that.
Unless them aliens and them what we just call aliens come in the spaceship and thing, we ain't see that at all.
Yeah.
Right? He say emancipation is just is a mockery, just another form of tokenism. I used to feel that, but until we get
who's that?
Mortel. Remember he was involved too. I used to agree with that, but until we get something else.
Yeah, but this has been my problem, Jed. What we want to start by, we not want to get what we want in the beginning. You understand? But to me, this is our start, because as you say just now, everything is a catalyst, you know. Because now you go on and open the can of worms. Well, nobody didn't want to open all the time. You choose to do this, you know. As the Prime Minister, you come and say, hey, it's time for we to fix this, boy. Right? And I go in and fix it. I ain't asking no permission because I go ask for the forgiveness. You understand? I ain't asking no permission because I know if I ask the permission is, well, that don't mean nothing, and what I mean, and we ain't getting nothing from that, and all them kind of thing. Which is fine, you know, everybody entitled to the opinion, to the perception of what they feel the word means and the addition means or the leaving out of the word means. But, as I say, the catalyst, when you strike that match, that spark, I see this as the spark, because everything you just outlined there, the village, the piece of land, everything surrounding all the things that was on the outskirts of emancipation all the time.
Now to make happen. Not right. Because to me the time for the talk in this past.
Come on.
I'm sure if you call the ESC now, Ms. Zakia and them have all the paperwork, everything, and thing like what we need. I'm sure that.
Yeah.
Because there's none of how they're doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to have a discussion with them anymore. I think you need to say, we have 3 proposed sites for you to come and check. When we meet with our, make our appointment for the thing and go and check the sites and see which one of these you think might be most appropriate.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that need to be discussed any further.
No. And that's another one of the issues that I have with the not just the ESC, you know, but the African people. We are not organized. We are not organized. For years of the man here, look at this. The man keeps saying it. Organized. We're not organized. And that's why I just tell people, anytime I tell my wife, my children, my mother, everybody, do not come to me unless all you're sure or you're ready to go. Because if you come to me, I don't want to hear no fucking talk about, well, we ain't ready with this and we didn't really think. And no, everybody jump me, man. Oh God, Karen, my thing, we need alumni. I say, all you're sure that all you want? Yes. I say, right. We are on the verge of getting the documentation because I do all I have to do to make sure that it registered. So when it registered then, and I have the paper in my hand, I don't want to hear no talking. You understand? So that is one of the things that I have a problem with. Yeah, we talking that we want a piece of land, but with the land. You went surveys division and plot out and say, well, the government had this piece of land here that nothing doing with. You know what's a nice piece of land I just watch? That same piece of land, when you're coming down off the bypass there, where the dump used to be, it's a triangle, a big triangle.
The bypass for you.
NP.
Right.
Right. That piece, that nice big space, that nice big green space there. I watched that and I said, boy, I could see something nice there. If you know our next place is, with Kaya Film.
Wait, tell me.
Kaya, the video by Spree Simon, that big piece of land there, opposite Spree Simon. That is a wicked piece of land, brother. You understand what I'm saying?
Bring back some life to the community.
To the community, because if Laventille is that, Laventille need that. Yeah. Laventille need, and we cannot go in fearing it.
No.
Because the same way Hunty is pumping.
I show the community coming out for that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, sorry, go ahead.
Tropical say greetings all. Tatiana say I remember it started as Indian arrival. That why telling you to me.
And then they drop it and they bring it back then.
Yeah, to me they started as Indian arrival day. And I think it's stupid to take off the Indian.
Yeah, to make it arrival day.
And now we have to go back and put it on because it's Indian arrival day. We celebrated May the 30th, the first boat come on the Fatal Razak.
Yeah.
Come on, man, if we had that history, we're supposed to celebrate it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I'm a curry. I'm a doubles. You understand? Come on, man. Yeah. Right. David say blessed day. Tropical say I don't see an issue. Me personally use hashtags a lot and recently noticed the term Emancipation Day is used by people who are African as well as non-African colonized people. Right? Ronald Nelson say I don't agree with anything the PM says, but in this case I must agree. What I would hope is that the change encourages people to learn more about their history and culture.
Yes.
Right? Ronald say, in addition, feel pride about everything African, including our languages, names, and spirituality.
Thank you.
Yeah, you see, the Aquino say this. Remember Gollywog nights at the club.
Okay. Bass. Bass and Pier 1, Gollywog night.
They bring back that day, boy.
I've never been.
I remember I reached outside Bass once.
Yeah.
I can't remember what this happened. I asked them for them because it was a good bit away. So 3 weeks. I asked them what this happened. And we ended up having to leave and go. I can't remember, but we reached in front of the club.
Yeah.
Right? Montel say I can't feel bad. I can't feel bad if they excluded. It's about time we do for ourselves. And that's something, I agree with Montel. I agree that.
100.
Right? You look at them like right here. We know we have ethnicities in this country that we don't see. All you just see them for certain things.
Yeah.
Or you might pass them on the highway in $1 million vehicle. You can't say where they live in.
Yeah.
Whether they buy groceries, whether they make market, whether there's party.
Yeah.
You can't say none of that, but they're doing it. It happening.
Yeah.
Right. When we say the thing is we African descent need to check ourselves. Boy, we are checking to exclusionary. Hey, Mendoza reaching, boy. The CEO of Davison watches reaching. Let's say they do it. Right, Mortal say our story should be taught yearly and should be placed on the school curriculum, and that's something I think I want to lobby for. That's one of the things I want to do. Get that in writing proper, and for that part of the history to be taught from second year.
Yeah.
Right. Mortal say realistically, once they given us things to meet, we'll always feel like we owe them, but if we owe them nothing. 1970 and 1990 was the spark for me. See that? I agree with that totally. I agree with that totally. That's why I keep saying 1970 was just 8 years after we were independent. And that's just to show we did not fight for independence. It was given.
Yep.
So when they gave it to us, they didn't have to do anything else. So African people conditions remain the same. Hence it bubbled over into what happened in 1970. When those say, I don't know what change you're talking about. I just tuned in. Last week, the Prime Minister announced that they're going to add African in front of the word Emancipation Day. So it will now be African Emancipation Day. Yeah. And Brother Kafra Kambon, the former head of the Emancipation Support Committee, say he don't agree with it now. So we just discussing accordingly.
Yeah. So I'm going to finish off with what you say. So Kambon added, nothing is wrong with the terminology, but it has been brought in after something has been established for 200 years. It has been going on without a change. It's not a change that we asked for. We did not see the need for the change. I don't really see the importance of that, to be honest, because change is inevitable, right? And it are plenty things that, whether we like it or not, some of the changes was necessary. You mightn't see the need for it because remember sometimes too, this is one of the things that I have a problem with regards to our generations, right? Now remember, we seeing things with we 1981, 79, 80s eyes, right? We children ain't seeing it with them eyes.
Consider the 2015 and 2014.
Right. You dig? I just enjoy saying don't up to Tyler sometimes, you know, because we perception on things, I just be like, way, you know what I mean? But a big part of, and me and your mother was talking about this when I post a status about the first thing a blind man does is throw away cane. And she was saying, you know, she don't agree because sometimes the cane might be a crutch now, right? And it's not serving you. So you should get rid of it. But I don't see it that way, right? Because if I see it that way, then if tomorrow I fall and you rise, right? You could discard me. You understand? And I using that because I say brethren, use my brethren, even though I will call on you on certain things. Not because I get to a place where I don't need you. I will just stop dealing with you now. You know? So I'm not saying continue to walk with the stick.
Yeah.
But you keep this stick to remind you of the times when you couldn't see.
You might be able to help somebody with this stick.
Correct. All of that. You bless somebody else with the stick, you know what I mean? So our parents, and then I was talking to mommy with regards to that whole understanding thing where we as the children of our parents had to understand everything them went through. But them mustn't understand nothing we going through.
Yeah.
Right? Because we had to sit back and be like, well, yeah boy, my father didn't get burned, you know, boy. So I should understand why he does react a certain way. You did? But then I as the child now could say, well, I'm gonna burn up myself too. So I could react like that. And then everybody who come in after me had to understand that he get burned up, I get burned up.
I remember hearing that from somebody close to me, and I say, look at how a pass is being given to this older person.
Yeah.
Because of what they went through.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't learn anything from it and put you through shit the same way.
Yeah.
Them getting a pass. You getting cried down because what them do force you to lash out.
So the last part is also ask about the decision to rename Emancipation Day. Akel Murray, lecturer at the Caribbean Civilization Unit, Faculty of Humanities and Education at the University of the West Indies, said, St. Augustine said yesterday, I don't have enough facts, but what I can say, it's a positive in terms of helping people of African descent to be reminded they have been emancipated from the bonds of slavery and oppression. It is a symbolic way of strengthening our connection with our culture, history, and identity. You see, that part day, brother, that part day is what I feel everybody, while it may seem trivial, in the long run, everybody gonna look back and be like, yeah, boy, that decision was a good decision. Just like Manning, when he was kicking out the Syrian and them and moving out of the Syrian and them place and going and build buildings for the government to go in so that we don't have to pay them rent. And where's the first order of business when these people come in? Not to try and reverse that? Oh, but now everybody's seeing it and balling. What they do, they use the Calder Hat issue as the distraction from what he was doing. But the reality was, whether we agree to it now or not, what he did, that was going to save the government millions of dollars in rent. Rent? Nah, boy, dog, boy. Because why? All they don't want to maintain nothing. All they don't want to take care of nothing for themselves.
No.
Come on, man.
Not taking care of it and not maintaining it is really style.
Come on.
It had a status quo that was already
in place. That's right.
To break it is to go against some very rich,
powerful
people.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that are repercussions.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right. Again, I say that again. We gotta do for self.
Yes.
Doing for self could come in all kind of forms, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, somebody asked me, and then people just notice when you stop do things. I get asked recently, long time you ain't share no black business, but see what I mean? So they always used to introduce you to businesses and things. It's really been a while I do it on my broadcast now.
Right.
But it's also a little frustrating because I tell them, I say, none of the businesses I be share when we talk to them after they don't see no tangible
Benefit.
growth from it now. So or you're not seeing it, so you're talking about it, but you see it and don't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I started to be real dreaded them. I asked them, you ever buy a jersey from me? Who not? You ever buy a jersey? Hey, you know, I say, see, that's it right there. That's it right there. Right? And this is why I say people the problem. I say I can't force nobody to buy nothing from me, you know. I mean trying to force nobody to buy nothing from me because one of the worst things, another partner couldn't understand this at the time.
Yeah.
Don't buy no jersey from me under tokenism.
Under?
Tokenism. Just to say I buy a jersey.
Yeah.
And I buy my jersey and pack it up in a cup.
Yeah.
I just these things I just print.
Yeah.
Just print that kind of energy. I don't just print that thing and just nah. You know, good. I tell you, is last Tuesday or we went before that. Coming up here to come here, boy, and see a man jump out of a car.
The green.
In the green jersey, the Sankofa on it, and it's glitter gold, and that gold glitter this hour. Like, yeah, break him out. I tell you, the driver, I don't know what going on here. Looking to see if there's some girl or something, because I feel real good. As the story has always tell you, passing through town and see you and your wife getting across Queen Street.
Yeah.
And both all in Nubian experience. Like,
yeah. I know it's a good thing too. She does wear the clothes.
Yeah.
We went, so Sunday we went to my man's birthday. Big up my son, the last one. We went and play some game with him and thing and buy a little cake and ice cream and whatever. And it's only when we leave in the house, she had on the pink one. Black woman.
Yeah.
Right? When the sun and...
what happened when the sun and the moon?
Yeah. Right? And I watched that and I say, you know what? Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
You dig? Because as much as I have, well, you know how much I have. Right?
But I do come in the shop here and your wife walking and she not want to know.
Yeah. And since she pull on them, you know, after a while they start a thing, start a bit look bitter, she stopped wearing them. And that's what she wear.
I tell you, so that's like we talk this talk, boy, like so somebody asked me, what is talk? What I ask boy? Something I want to say, when you what them thing just send for man, I was sending the circle to see if we have anybody. Because that is part of what we just do too now.
Yeah.
Say, let's send people by me by. Or you see, we still have this, me and you and other people sit down inside of here and talk this. We still have this. If I trim by Karen 4 times for the month, I'm making Karen rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I buy 2 t-shirts a month from Andre, and 10 other people buy 2 t-shirts and 1 from Richard Ashley, what going to happen?
Yeah. Who's you?
And that's where we come. And I feel like, you know, if you're doing something that I could patronize all the time.
Yeah. And that's what they don't get. And you know what's the thing? Remember you tell me that about the time when you come out in your full gab and the Indian man gave the forward.
Yeah, that's always something that happens still today.
Well, I experience it. And I telling you, brethren, them know that what we supposed to be doing, them know what we supposed to be doing. And when they see it, they just acknowledge it. You know what's our next thing? I carry China and them cinema last week Sunday. Right? Not this one, Sunday before. Right? And when we pull up, remember, it's 5 hours we coming out of the car. Whole black family, me, my wife, my teacher, and everybody walking together, we talking together, and you're seeing the look on people's face like that is not what they're accustomed to seeing. You understand? Okay. So I know that gave me even more strength because I saying, boy, this cannot mash up. Even I don't care what amount of stress my children put on me, partner? I'm not going a place.
Yeah, damn. Our next thing too, boy. Keep saying it, boy. The nuclear weapon that we have as African people is family.
Yeah.
And nuclear weapon as in not as in to destroy other people, you know.
No.
But as a protective element for us as African people. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's the season of divorce, if it's the season of breakup, or you just see them things when it happened to you now.
Well, not just that too.
We'll start to that's now. We'll start to get a shout out to the 49ers.
Oh yeah, boy. Yeah. Big up Brother Wayne and Sister Michelle.
Yeah.
Roof, right?
49 years to celebrate.
49 years Saturday, yeah. They walk in the Black Power revolution together. They was going to school, a matter of fact, at that point in time.
That's a major compliment. I mean, like, you married longer than I live in, you know?
Yeah. And if you see them,
Yeah.
So that them thing exists.
It definitely exists, and it's so beautiful that they just be so open with we, boy. You understand?
But you see the smile on Wayne's face.
Yeah,
Wayne say he happy to see the effect it had on us now.
Yeah. And it's something else we don't really see in the community and we don't hear.
Yeah.
Men acknowledging
the strength of their wife, yeah.
You understand? Yeah. And we see that twice in the week.
Yeah.
Because Keith was talking about his wife when they was on the show last week.
Yeah.
And then how Brother Wayne was talking about his wife now.
Yeah.
You understand?
I tell people all the time too, my wife is my protection. She have that to die. You dig? She have that to die. Because plenty time I want to give man benefit of the doubt and she telling me, boy, forget he in a dread. You dig? Forget that. And I still going ahead. Burning mass again.
So Tatiana say, I would like for us as a nation to teach Trinidad and Tobago history in primary school. So the coming generations can know and understand the history of African people along with the history of the others.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, because you see, they just make it.
Exclude nothing, no.
No, but you see, they just make it their business to do it, and that is why they build their own schools.
Yep.
Right? So as much as it have a portion of them that aiming to go the quote unquote prestige schools, it also have a portion of them who not going anything other than the denominational school. Because they make up their mind that for them to go there, mean they're going to see themselves, they're going to know themselves, they're going to celebrate themselves, they're going to know their own spirituality, they're going to know all them things about self in day. Because that was the teaching day.
Years ago, I went to what's the name of that school? Somewhere in Central, and you had to go real far in off the major road to get to the school. And I was amazed in a good way. I said, look at that, why we can't have that, boy?
Yeah.
The school, they barely any English in the school in the first place.
Yeah.
They was actually teaching the language. You're seeing all the Hindu deities,
right?
All them kind of thing. Hindu writing on the board and all kind of thing.
And they speaking it.
Like, and tell me that was so beautiful, eh? Yo. And today I look at it and I know we come out to the first set of people going to have a problem with that. If we come out to that, it's African people. First set of people.
Yeah. Because that exclusionary thing, I don't know what it is about me that we have to include everybody. Why it is we have to include everybody. First of all, I don't know that I could say, brother, you're going on Diwali coming up. We're going down in the Nagar. And we're going to get a boat and set up for
no, we can't do that.
Right? We going to do that. Why we can't do it?
No.
Oh, but we excluded. That's not exclusion.
Boy, they could call it what I want. They could say, they could tell you that how other people are and think, for me personally, I have no problem with it.
But that's always what it is.
Right? I have no problem with them only wanting authentic East Indian vendors in the Diwali Nagar. I have no problem with that.
Nice.
But I want the same thing for the Emancipation Village.
Oh.
I want things centered in and around either African things made in Trinidad and Tobago, African things from the continent, or even one or two vendors from other islands, which I think we started to open up to.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we have that. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why I say the first thing I learn, I no problem with that because I go in the car just to look around and see, you know, when I hear the order because one or two vendors I know end up inside a dinner. And that's it. You know, the things it have and like, yo, we need, one of the things I would love to see too is the village lasting longer for now. So seeing that, you know, this conversation, as I say, it start, either the village start earlier and end on Emancipation Day,
or it continue past Emancipation.
Continue past Emancipation, you know. And I want to tell the people, like, I see it come up again, like, most black businesses don't need nothing but your support, you know. Like, we don't need funding, you know. You need to buy from us.
That's right.
Like, yo, Emancipation, that people putting out their life savings, the last of the money, looking for it for that period of time. You want to buy them out. I, as somebody who's selling the villages, had to talk the last couple of years, I had to talk to myself to not spend so much money in the village. Because food alone. Because while I there, the last Emancipation village, but I didn't carry food, but I carry things to eat. I carry plenty fruits and things. So that I only had to buy food one day. Because sometimes food alone, that's some people just come and sell Ethiopian food. Oh, Lordy. Man, did I notice him last year, boy? I didn't go looking most times to do a bread oil long. He actually come and tell me, we're going to make now because when the oil long make it in lasting. Right? It in lasting. Sometimes you pass by them and in the height of everything and them looking like the lineman. Oil.
Done.
Right? But Ethiopian food? Oh, boy. So the food aspect of the village is something I really look forward to.
Right.
I spend plenty money. Then it will always have something in the village I see to buy. Sometimes when I check back for the village, I spend back $1,000 or more, you know.
Cool and easy.
In the village itself.
And I don't really see no problem with
it. No, I don't have no problem with it now.
But I understand you're not going there to spend. You're going
but to my fellow vendors, it's something we all need to do amongst ourselves. Sometimes you even go and greet people. One thing I do to my regulars, I go and look for them, greet them, tell them I hope all the government is infrastructure. And look sharp if the body shelves to buy and all they sell the shelves. You understand? Yeah. You know, that kind of vibe now. We coming out here because let me tell you why I was making more business to do that, right? I start off strictly seeing it as competition. Competition to the point where I'm frightened and I'm vexed depending on who you put my next to and all kind of things.
But that is paramount or tantamount to what we originally know. You understand? I tell you, when I open here, friends, people was like, boy, are you going to do that here, boy? It have a shop so. I say, I don't care about none of that. Right? I know I come in to do. I know I come in to offer. And if all they want to go so, all they can go so. After all they come here and all they experience, if all they want to go so, all they can go so. I don't have no problem with that. Yeah, the competition is natural. But I'm not letting that be at the forefront of my mind all the time.
I mean, Lion King, the first year, I remember paying for my boot. Going now and get a boot now and then see who next to me. Boy, Bommy. Oh, boy, Bommy. Then that year, let me tell you what I experienced that year. Because we talk about the Prime Minister. He came in. People were still setting up on thing, but had people on one thing. And he went straight to one place and then left. And I find that I find out distasteful.
Yeah.
Like, there's people setting up things. You know, it is, whether you like him or not, the Prime Minister of the country coming to see your spot to see what you're doing.
That's a
big thing, a big deal. You understand? I would welcome the opposition leader into my space. This is what us do. Here, thing. Any one of the ministers and thing, you know, or go, or they give people that kind of Brazil ain't so busy. You're doing the work at Trinidad and Tobago now. As a citizen of the Republic, you know.
Yep.
You understand?
Yep.
Me come here to do an expo and then go back home, and I live in here. You know, interact with the people, come in, or they do this thing. So again, I watch it, you know, because you talk there, that surprisingly I agree with you. I want to see if you're just coming in the village to get your clothes for the day and then go on.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to walk around, be spontaneous now, buy a sugar cake like that one.
Yeah.
You know, buy Ethiopian food.
Yeah.
Something, you know, go around to the different spaces and places.
Yeah. At least make it look good. That way they can't take Penny, you know. Penny Penelope.
Yeah.
She's a groundswoman, brother.
Right.
She going to everybody.
Yeah, but something I end up in on, two different things I end up in on shows, you know, like kind of shocked now.
Yeah.
Also, I'd say, you know, shout out to King Shaka Chief, Olori Ajogun, and the Otu, Ile Ojosen Otura, Awon Oshun, I say the name wrong, but the Pale run by Iya Omotaiwo for the successful Ogun Festival last week Sunday.
Right.
You know, I must say, I always like how they does organize and the way that they does do the things. So, you know, we had Shaka here, King Shaka, and then we went up there. It was real, you know. My daughter tell me we there, I didn't want to go home, you know, reach. But I think I had my for a long time. I never catch a festival. What? Started sing songs, so jump started play. And then look over now and see 20 other little children your age singing and clapping. Wow, but you started singing and clapping. You understand? Yeah. So, you know, much love to Iya Omotaiwo and the family. More Orisha spaces and more Orisha involvement is something that I want to see.
Yeah.
Even in the Emancipation.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to see. Of course, that is not only people who run in the Emancipation, that is on us reaching out to them now, but because a lot of Orisha elders played a pivotal role in the background in that whole period.
Yep.
From 1970, you know, that lead up to the, you know, straight up to the 80s, we had a real thing going on socially in the black communities. People don't understand that. That is why this brother resistance also we love. He was on the ground doing real work.
Yeah.
You know, pictures with brother Kuriga Mandela, and them in naming ceremony. For I think that was Baba naming ceremony, no, Ayinde. Biombo designs now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was picture. And when you watch the people in the picture, like, everybody looking young. young. Right?
Yeah.
And Baba is a baby, you know, but all them little things, the community coming out now today, we look at these things and the man shun them now. You know, the more read back some more comments here. So Tatiana say again, groups meaning how and why they came to TNT. Example, Indians came to replace slaves in the sugar industry. My great-grandparents came from India as indentured laborers. Wow. As a Trinidadian 52 years old, they don't look so at all. I'm proud of our rich history, which I don't believe the younger generation is aware of. That is the problem.
Yep.
Right? They don't know it, so they can't be proud of it.
Yep.
Motel say, however, I'm a proud carbon. Motel, you had to say that word from a boy, man whose ancestry is both rich in achievements and disappointments throughout our self-inflicted struggles and success. I could understand that. And therein lies the problem, small-minded mentality. So I guess in that moment talking about when we was talking about clapping for one another thing now.
Yeah. Or carboniferous.
Yeah, all right, Motel.
Yeah, brother.
You know, you and make it up. There's real makeup words, you know. Hey, big up to the brother, make it up. I see him a little more active on social media these days.
Yeah, he bouncing back.
Right. Motel say, Karen, you took an example from the 6 Chinese restaurants in one spot selling noodles yet working in harmony. Yeah, boy, that's something I was very watching out of that.
Come on.
We don't see none of them outside looking down the street watching the other one like, what we know.
Come on.
But that's so right. I wanted to talk about that. Because it might have other vendors that feel the same way or still feel the same way, but don't know how to talk it because they're embarrassed.
Mm.
And in the first, I remember, I set up like, what am I next to that boy? No, I realized, just like it have people that has come straight here in the village to look for them. It have people that come straight here to look for you.
Yeah.
I had people coming from deep south and things. Because them know for sure. So even during the year, check you up, them people come in to get a t-shirt from the Nubian experience because in the village, African clothes galore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this what I'm doing here is almost very unique.
Yeah.
Right? And while they might get some other people printing, mine have a certain element to it. So that people come in, like, and I watching that last year, like, I call out a figure in my head, and the figure manifests.
Oh.
So it's like, we don't have to fear doing all these businesses around each other, but we should look to actually do it more.
Exactly.
Because when we go down there, just on designs, people come and they see that people so impressed. The people come, so people watching and the bag here with the big design on it. And
the leather bag.
So watching it, near anything, 1600. How about it? Some tourists come with one local. The man rest the bag on his shoulder thing. A big one for 60s and a small one for like 9 or something. Remember the exact thing. But Jason wasn't there. Call him thing, he confirmed it after that. How much? I tell them. Okay, we will be back. Caucasians. 20 minutes. Come back. The man leave with the bag on his shoulder. Because they see the work. I said, look at that now, boy. You understand what this youth man do with this leather and bamboo and thing to create this beautiful piece of thing, and then
we don't value nothing.
Or they want where's the bag that them one of them does go off over Birkin?
Yeah.
Or the price and I like, wow, look how easy. That's what I would always say. During slavery, they used to use fire and iron to brand their names on our bodies. Today, we pay them to wear their names on our bodies. So we went from branded slaves to slave to brands. Because that piece of work, that man, them not so no discount or nothing, Them just say they're coming back. 20 minutes later, them come back and take the bag. And that gasset paper to kind of hold it out, make it look full and it didn't fall because it's, leather. Or the two sides will come in.
Yeah.
Oh, my boy, take out the gasset paper, chop in all the thing and then gone.
One time.
You understand? And be like, if we who just do the type of retail sales we just do, me and Jason, if we get 50 customers like that recurring for the month, to talk to me. Because now you're all going on, right? Remember, a few of them customers going on wear something from us. Somewhere that somebody going on ball. Hey, where you get that, boy? And then that person going on.
Yeah.
And that's why for me the village is monumental.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody that some people when them come they're making the money for the rest of the year. We go see what going on in New Year's style, but that's why I say we need more of a village too. I don't know if it's a longer period or a big space. The only reason I like the location of this Free Simon, but I feel that space big enough. Because the idea I have, remember, I'm not thinking about a market, I'm thinking about something
permanent, yeah.
Right? We have vendors to full thinking.
I know when last year passed decade, that space.
No, I know I can't remember the break. Yeah, the break down so you see it straight down to the back. But you remember you also need space because we were performing space. Oh yeah. Oh God, parking. Oh God.
Yeah. That will cut down in this space.
Yeah.
That will cut down in this space.
But another African group could look at that. Because which part it is.
Of course.
And we incorporating that name some way, form, or fashion. That's Free Simon name.
Yeah, of course.
You know? I'm going to finish off. Motel say, however, I read that. I mean, we need to go back to that as an African community, which is not, the previous comment of like how the Chinese restaurants is operating. Because we had, growing up, we had one set of shops.
I was not going to tell you. Because in my class chat, I see lightning rod for that. Right? Me don't care who feel, how they feel. When you see Donald start up with she little, with she wontons, I went down there. Because I see somebody external, we just call the people and them, one of them foodies went on thing. And I saying, but I not why I can't go and do this. So you know what happening now? Everybody from the group just call me, Karen, where Donald is by? I say, but Donald in the chat. Why don't you just add the girl and go and check she? But guys, because when I went, I take a picture, I take a video, and I send it. Same thing with Sadie's Big Belly Tree in Belmont. Yeah? I take the thing, the man sandwiches as lash. It's just that I can't eat fried food all the time.
Yeah.
That's my bread, but I'm not going and eat that all the time. So now people all on Facebook will be messaging me, hey Karen, I did see you post that thing the other day, boy. What that is? How it tastes? Thing. And I put it everywhere.
So you say when I feel about chubby.
Yeah. I can't go buy chubby all the time. I cannot go buy chubby all the time. And chubby know that.
I was going chubby too, eh? Chubby master the art of taking
pictures.
Food pictures. Not just pictures.
Foodie pictures, bro.
Oh shit. Yo. Hey, you're getting older, you have to be a little more concerned.
Yeah, that's right. That's
right. Eating and thing, cause
boy. Yeah, bro.
I never see Chubby post something
that don't look appetizing. When he write it on me like, nah, I would need that. Yeah. Or with the picture itself. I want that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, boy. Yeah, Chubby.
Yeah. So that was saying it's not difficult to know. It's not difficult. You refer somebody. No, I not say nobody had to come by me. You dig? You had to say, boy, hey, if you're here, you sit down by a table, and a man cursing in Baba, boy, this man set me up again.
Yeah.
Hey.
One time.
Call that man. Just don't be late. Right? Call that man, just don't be late.
Hey.
You was, and that's what it is. You dig? Because anybody here, no. They come and sit down on my chair. Look at Axon Abridging Saturday. I say, big man, you started work yet? He's starting to renovate something. He say, boy, I started work and that man stressed me out and thing. I nearly end up in the jail, whatever. I say, tell me, you want a number or you don't want a number? Yeah, now well, I don't get somebody else already. He say, but if this one slip, I come and say, I say, I no sin. Play, you know, I send me number still. Need it or don't need it, brother? Save the number in your phone, you have it. Yeah, you understand? Because at the end of the day, it's not difficult. It's not taking nothing out of me. Nothing. A man come, chip some.
Tell them, boy, yeah. I'll use my friend and my family.
Yeah.
And nothing on your page to show that you have a friend or a family that have a business, boy.
Yeah.
No, bear in mind, you're free to post wherever you want to. But I tell them that certain people I do no kind of talk about my business, I just enter with them. I one or two people in two group chats I in. Ask them start to talk business, I come out the chat.
Oh God.
There are people who never share nothing from me, never buy nothing from me.
Right.
Open business now and asking me to share the business. And I try to be like, yo, you need to be the bigger man here.
Yep.
But I was already bigger man in size already. I need to be the bigger man in attitude too, boy. No, I'm telling you, boy, never share nothing, you know, never like nothing, never said nobody know what going on about Karen, boy.
Yeah.
No, people like to say, but yeah, boy, red man na baba na.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is my goal.
And I tell people like, yo, that shit not hard at all.
I just be sharing people business I don't even know.
Problem is we mentality.
I telling you, I see Which is a CJLA boy. Somebody doing herbal something. I share it. Because guess what? You don't know who need it. You don't know who need it. And sometimes that does benefit me too because I go come back up 2-3 years down the road and I'll be, hey, remember this person boy XYZ, thing, I could get it. You understand? And it's not difficult. We just make it difficult because we studying who driving what, who dressing how, who living way. That none of that shit don't concern you, partner. Because I was watching I sent a video in our chat recently with this fella who did the lock up the other day. The kickboxer or the MMA fighter. Who just talk real plain. We seen him again, boy. He have a ball head and he does wear shades and things.
He's a MMA.
Yeah, he was an MMA fighter.
I know you're talking about.
The man say, you know him?
I know they hold him in Romania or somewhere.
Yeah, he do a video talking about cash now. Because it is really the last freedom. When you really sit down and think about it, right? Because he say, if I take my $50 and I come and I buy it by you, I buy something by you for $50. Then you take that same $50, you go buy the mechanic. That mechanic take the 50, he go in the grocery. The grocery man take the 50, and he go. Wherever he go, that 50 worth 50. He say, but when I come by and I tap my card, it's 50 less 1 point whatever, 50 less 175, right? And then you take that 50 less 175 and you go somewhere, right? Because it might hit your account. But when it hits your account, it is not the same 50 that I originally tapped. So he was saying that eventually that 50 will just disappear because the bank fees and whatever will absorb it. You know? And I listened to him and I say...
Them lost in that scenario at all.
At all. And I listened to that and I say, well, you know, as much as I agree with what the man's saying, everything in me say, nah, boy, can't be cash. But he's right. Because in the grand scheme of things, as long as, remember, we study the convenience. That's what we studying, but we're not studying the erosion of the funds. And it's real. Because remember, on top of that, I had to pay service charge on whatever money I had it. So in reality, I didn't make 100 or 50 or 60. I didn't make that. You dig? So that's why now in some cases, people telling you, hey, you want to swipe your card? $2 more. Which I find to be rubbish. But...
Yeah, but I do it now. I remember I went to buy a phone card somewhere.
That's rubbed me the wrong way.
And so let me say the card is $23. Then for them I had to pay $26.
Yeah. I didn't.
What?
I didn't
keep that.
I go in where I could pay my money and get my card.
Right, but the emancipation, the way we just do emancipation in Trinidad and Tobago, there are a lot of people on the ground that benefit from it.
Of course.
It have a lot of people that has worked hard to make it up. And I want to shout them out. I'm going to tell you why I want to shout them out. Because I being one of the people who does... I probably don't bond them out the way I used to. I used to really bond them out before I started to be around them. Right? But then you start to be around and see. Remember all we hearing is the leaders.
Yeah.
But then I start to be around and see the people who that come like, you're looking at a minister, all you see is the minister. So you see him driving up and down here and the boss shooting in a nice van, thing going in the parliament. But then now you get a glimpse of the permanent secretary and the team that the permanent secretary have and see the late nights, 2-3 days of this and that, and that kind of thing. I realize, to me, it's almost the same thing with them now. So it's a group of women especially that just do the thing they are really trying to get them to come true. Right? But this is from now, it's a busy period for them. Busy. Almost straight on. But I'm trying to get at least 2 of them to come before the emancipation period. Because one of the things I would like to talk to them about is the emancipation celebration from a younger person perspective, as well as why they think so many black people, especially African people, have a negative view of the Emancipation Support Committee. And again, to me, part of that goes back to them not highlighting their works. Because the kind of, I always have to laugh at this, 2014, I meet fella Kute's son. I have a picture with him. I didn't know who the hell I was. Because for all being around the African thing, I started listening to African music that same year after watching Baba and Madupe. Shout out to Baba and Madupe of Vyombo Designs, because them is the reason why I'm in and around the Emancipation celebration.
Right.
Them getting on like, yo, Ting, we had a mini man, Ting. They gave me a chain. And I was wondering if they following the man wear that chain for about 2 years now. I know because I was there when they presented him. The man going all around the world in that chain. Right? Thing when I find out now, I follow him. I'm like, yo, them bringing me the boot and all kind of thing now. But the worst was this lady, oh God, she name was just I was not thinking.
The singer? Yeah.
Kojo, Angelique Kojo.
Angelique, yeah.
Again, these is people the Emancipation Support Committee bring for concerts. So 1 year was Fela Kute's son, which was Sion Kute. And next year was Angelique Kojo. If you know who Angelique Kojo is, and we get she for Emancipation concert, not a concert with them people putting out the real big money and thing.
Yeah.
Then no little feet. Breads. No, I don't know who the hell this person is. And Madupe going crazy. Begging, Khadija, I want to be she. And I'm like, who is? Now, when I see this, I can sing every song word for word. Word for word. I'm like, I had the opportunity to meet this woman, boy. Then we had Brother Valentino here.
Yeah.
I started to take Brother Valentino seriously when the Emancipation Support Committee gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award. And then they start, on the stage now, they started to talk about some of the things he did, and they were like, well, who's this man? Like, I know the Calypsonian.
Yeah.
But I know the works.
Yeah, I know the works, yeah.
I was like, what? And then when I started listening to certain things, and so again, it had things that it is do, but first things first, it does always look like it's only for emancipation. Yes, you have competitions and things outside of that. I don't think it's their fault it is not properly pushed by the media.
Right.
Because remember all that based on what they're paying and whatever. All right. Hey, Sister Angie St. Paul inside, boy.
Yeah.
Right? But that things always do. It had to have a way for the Emancipation Support Committee to put out some of the things them do over the years.
Yeah.
Toot your own horn. Toot your own, because right now as it is, plenty young people view that like out of view insurance. Is a scam.
Yeah.
And that disrespectful to the works that people like Brother Cambon and Sister Zakia and them putting, Miss Jackie, oh God, Miss Jackie, I love you. You understand? That's one of the elders. My blood just take as and she really helped me. I could say that. You understand? Like Khadija and them. They're doing work, but when we sit down here and only seeing one happening and we in here know one time, but they know we did this and what we have to think.
Yeah.
And you can't blame people for thinking that way about you if we only hear Brother Cambon because of this.
Yeah. Yep.
Every month, Baba Cambon should be given a statement to the media about something. Because from some people I hear, he's a walking encyclopedia.
Yeah.
You understand? We had to tap into that. I would love for him to come on. I would send an invitation. You understand?
Yeah.
Again, hey, Taika Rich, she say, I know Rich, only talk about the why of the name change. Tell me now, like you hear something we hear, tell me now. You understand?
So long I see Taika, wait on girl.
Yeah, boy.
I see Shannon and Tong. Well, oh God, the next one I don't see at all.
Joel, man, send she phone.
She know WhatsApp. I tell Shasta, I'm going to lick it up in the road one of these days. Go ahead.
Yeah. Shout out the Jamets.
Yeah, because the Jamets, man. We had to bring all them back, you know. We have a topic for them. We have a topic.
We are real thing for them. First things first is always just real vibes when them come with that. Yeah. We need to come with no topic. We just had to come.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, look, Lal inside, boy. Mr. Jason, part more blessings to you and you too, my brother.
You don't know. Big up for yourself.
Right? With our football and, you know, working to bring back the community. Big respect, King. One of my
small pieces in the big puzzle.
I keep saying this to we school friends are like, we realize we was children when we meet one another, right?
Yeah.
So men like Lal and them, like, me and Lal started lying when we hit Form 4, so 94. I mean, look at 94 to know how old we was in 1994. I was about 15 years old.
Yeah.
Right? Me and Lal was roommates for 6 years. That alone was an adventure. Besides the other adventures we had, and look we here today, and I real proud of what Lal and them. I went one or two of the things, the competitions that they had there, like, they don't know this is needed, boy. Yeah.
Bring back Belmont.
So Taika say, me in here nothing. I ain't know why they change it. You go when I read Mendoza comment, you will read out the why that the Prime Minister say.
Oh, sure.
Right? Mendoza say, do you know that if you keep an African concert for 500,000 with just 10,000 people, at $400 you will make over $4 million. The Emancipation Support Committee shouldn't have to rely on handouts. Well, you know, we all agree on that. But a big part of that is us. But I agree on that.
Yep.
Right? Taika say, I do wonder who else was emancipated that we needed. We need the demarcation on the day. Was the Chinese emancipated?
Exactly.
I haven't heard about.
Exactly.
Still confused as to the change and wondering who asked for it. So
right. So nobody didn't ask for it. Well, the ESC surely didn't ask for it. The Prime Minister said it was a cabinet decision. The day is a commemoration of the emancipation of slaves on August 1st, 1834. Rowley said the time has come for us to make it quite clear that what emancipation means and who is being emancipated. He said he had noticed internationally that others were attempting to climb onto the emancipation bandwagon and attempting to add appendages to it. He said that since the country had led the world in making Emancipation Day a public holiday, he wanted to make it clear that emancipation in Trinidad and Tobago is as a direct result of the emancipation of slaves. There is no comparison between slavery and any other form of human indignation, the Prime Minister said. We are descendants of slaves, which you corrected. We have a duty to preserve our history, our legacy, and make our claim without apologies to anyone.
Right. So, Taika, I would like to hear you further to that where Karen now read there. I want to read over Mendoza comment. He said, do you know that if we keep an African concert for $500,000 with just 10,000 people, that is at $400 per ticket, that makes over $4 million.
So the 500,000 is the investment?
In the investment.
Right.
At just 10,000 people. Right? And boy, again, to me, boy, it all goes back to the support, boy, boy. I tell people, honestly, up to this point, my daughter is just shy of 8 years old. Even as a single parent, it's challenging, but I thought the hardest thing I would have done is be a parent.
Yeah.
But the hardest thing I do is trying to sell African-inspired things to African people. The hardest thing I try to do is sell a jersey mark, black is beautiful, to a black person. That's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah. When in reading that over just now there and listening to what Sheldon just say, I think if the Emancipation Support Committee changes their perception or perspective on what they're doing and who they're doing it for, things will change. Because Marshall Montano bring Burna Boy. Not Burna Boy. Who just bring Burna Boy? I think it was Ricky. One of them promoters. Bring Burna Boy here. Right? Wizkid come for Marshall Monday. So it's not like we don't have African artists that we could bring. That we could hype enough to make that 4 million he talking about it. You understand? Because if the government give me that money, and I say, but here we're going on this year, instead of we doing that village, or along with the village, we bring in one of them. We bring in one of them, right? And we say,
because that's what Carry Festa.
We bring in one of them, whoever the big boy is right now in that realm.
On the final night, we ain't doing it to interrupt nothing. The final night,
yeah.
Or you're doing it to that boy and the entrance to the thing, tunnel through the village.
Yeah.
So you can either go in something so, but they can work on the logistics. But yeah.
Because remember, the people who come into that, you just say you don't want to exclude nobody, right? Because it have Indian who like Burna Boy, who does listen to Burna Boy, who does listen to Wizkid, who does listen to the Gale, right? It have people. So when them come, they might be walking through the tunnel and say, boy, I really like what
first things first. I don't want to tell you, first things first, people sales going to increase because if you bring an artist, let me just say Burna Boy.
Yeah.
So let me just say the holidays, how it fall is the village is the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the holiday is the Monday or the Sunday.
Yeah.
And let me just say the concert is the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Sell off.
Yeah. For artists like Burna Boy, because people come in there, they don't have to go nowhere else. They come in there to look for clothes,
to go there,
jewelry, everything, to come back right there.
Yeah.
You understand? The first preference to food in it should be the vendors.
Of course.
Right?
Of course. But that's what I'm saying. If you, this thing's simple enough.
But on the other hand, King, just on the other hand, they did do that. They did bring world-class artists. I mean, when you bring Angelique Kidjo, the place was full enough. No. The place was full. The seating thing was full.
But I don't know concert, brother. That no concert.
Why you say that way?
Nah, you full. I'm not full no part of me.
Right. So no. We talking in today with the mindset that we had today. No.
All right.
No, we talking about today with the mindset we have today.
Right.
Because Mendoza now open up something here for we.
Right.
You can't talk redemption because we know the people behind that playing hundreds of millions of dollars. We can't talk redemption. But we could talk. We could talk. We want to do a concert that size.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Right?
So you're bringing, listen, that's what I was now going to say. Right? Everything is layers. Everything is layers. We talk about the economies in each thing that we have. In the barbering business, the economies is razor blade, neck strips. And then you saw them thing long time, man didn't even put toilet paper on your neck. Right?
That's how it came.
Now it have a strip to put around your neck with Velcro on it. Well, sticky thing, right? When you put it on, you stick it, because it ain't lasting longer than the trim.
Yeah.
Right. Razor blade, that, alcohol, cream, gloves, blade, chair, puff, cape. I just barbering I talking to you about. You understand me? So in day, we have enough, we have everything to throw that by ourselves. We have, me and you, have enough to throw that by ourselves. Pick up your phone and we say, boy, Olumbe, you open the show with a drumming thing. Right?
Big up for brother Olumbe.
Ank, you dressing everybody.
You decorate anything.
No, we had experience outfitting everybody.
Prindella fashion.
Everybody. Right? Them outfitting everybody too. Food man, we have a food court. Right? If you want chicken and chips, you could get that. But if you want, where's the pilaf? What is it called? Where's the something?
Jalap, right?
Jalap, right? You're getting jalap. You're getting everything right there. So you get the full experience now. You understand me? So it have nobody in there. Nobody thinking on that level. No, because
see.
they see, they come in under indoctrination that this is how we just do it.
I worry Taika going off there, boy. Taika say, I do wonder who else was emancipated.
You hearing that already?
Right. And the word slave has been excommunicated from the language. We're not using that anymore. We say enslaved as our people. So he started bad. Well, I had said that.
Yeah, he did correct that.
Right? That's something you need to correct on that. Taika say yes, his biggest problem is they may have no plan. So that again, if they do, and we are wrong for the assumption, it has to have a way for you to tell us, for you to explain to us, and it can't be we making these assumptions every year, all year, in and are wrong now. Right? Like I said, the marketing always falls short, and they start ads 2 weeks before. That can't work.
Thank you.
So we have to talk with them, Andre. We have to work together. I agree.
But my thing is, we know we're wrong. Right? We know what is wrong. But can we go to them and say,
this is my worry. That is my worry.
Yeah, this we see in this, we have this idea, we think that XYZ should happen. Because, brother, not what happening to the ESC is nothing different than what happening in the politics, nothing what happening in the ministries, nothing what happening in the businesses. It is the same thing.
And I want to say, from my experience, going to a church group.
Right.
Because I already had these tattoos. Even those people that know my whole life. Other people are wrong, hesitant. And because the idea, first things first, the idea didn't come from them. Secondly, they're watching, they're looking at it now. And that's one of my concerns about going and dealing with, yo, do you think we see only 2 people in the country as African people that have ideas for the advancement of we people, boy?
No, hell no.
Right? I wonder if, so Taika say, we have to work with them, Andre. We have to work together. I totally agree.
100.
How does that happen? Right? Because, so Taika, with your skill set, have you ever sent anything to the Emancipation Support Committee? Or any other of the organizations that you know does work on behalf of African people in the country?
I remember she working with
She said you don't have to do it all yourself. We have to work together and delegate. Agreed.
I forget the group.
I don't know.
I forget the group she working with. I forget the name.
You know, these is young, energetic people that have ideas, spirited.
Right. And want to see better.
Yeah.
So how, this has been my question, right? How an old person or elder in that space, you want the help, you want the ideas, right? But you see a young person coming up with that fire that you remember you had when you was in the heyday, right? But instead of you take that person and say, all right, you sit down with me. Don't go with them. Sit down with me. Let we talk. Where your idea is. Where you feel. Think. And then you say, all right, here we are. Again, your freedom to deal with this. Right? But just make sure, however you're going about it, we have a discussion first. Yeah. You understand? Because I ain't want you running around like no headless chicken. I want to help guide you. I want to channel that energy that you have.
So hear what she's saying now. The them I referring to is the promoters of the big reggae event now. I mean, you have to work with them now.
Right.
Let me tell you something. I will say this again. I'm not sure I said this on this program already. I always tell people unity is a word I'd already use again. Because if we was claiming unity and there was no separation and segregation,
right,
for certain people we'd have asked for the assistance, you know.
Yeah.
And assistance as in nothing money, you know. But I see you doing this, it working for so long.
Yeah.
Is it we could send somebody to intern by you or 2 people to intern by you for the period of time that you're doing the thing? If it's 6 months, you know, they by you, they taking notes, whatever. Or can you send somebody to us to work with us for 6 months to help us to come up to that?
Yeah.
You know, but we don't hear them thing happening at all. Like I say, I am on the board of the Black Consciousness Festival currently, and yes, I have offered ideas to ESC, but I couldn't continue to donate my time to wars.
Oh,
Big up the
God!
folks who can and remain there. Tell me about the Black Consciousness Festival now. That sounds like something I'll be interested in. Like, how is that, the Black Consciousness Festival?
She told me about that by the next studio, man.
Okay.
Yeah, and she said they was working on some event, but I don't know if it came off yet.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, so all in all, years ago, born real fire on the ESC. But somebody, an elder, tell me something that make real sense. He say two things. He say you're disrespecting the elders that put in work even though you don't agree with what they're doing now. You're disrespecting the elders that put in the work at that time.
Right.
Works that benefit you today.
Right.
First things first. And I take that immediately as he said, my spirit take it. And then he say, you cannot get rid of the ESC. You know the kind of works they do, the kind of contacts they have.
Yeah.
He say, I
don't think nobody wants to get rid of them.
You got to work with the ESC.
I don't think nobody wants to get rid of them. I just want them to change their mantra and their purview. Because you cannot say to me that your only concern is Emancipation Day. I can't accept that. I cannot accept, and the celebration of emancipation, I cannot accept that. Because we don't have no
national holiday.
We don't have that. We don't have an organization. Right? But then you want to say that we this and we that and we the next big man. It can't be that, because if you study emancipation, better focus on the village and deal with that. Don't put your mouth in the holiday and the this and the that and the this. Because at the end of the day, yes, you're influential, yes, you work, you do all of that, you know. But then you remove yourself from that fight and you box yourself into just the emancipation holiday. And I find that that mad thing. You understand? Because you're supposed to be the man who continue. But then you see, because you're wrapped up in politics. Right? Because you're sitting down with the who's, you know. Whoever in power, you're sitting down with them. Because now you have to make sure your subvention safe. And you don't want to say the wrong thing so that your subvention jump up.
And that is something that I would like to talk to them about now. Like, if it's something they're willing to talk about publicly, like how that has worked. Like, are you do you suffer vindication?
Yeah.
If you have to say something that you do agree with from the government, are you afraid that when you say that, you're not going to get what you're asking for?
Yeah.
You know, because this
but that fear of it being exclusionary and all, that's saying plenty for me. Yeah, and I will go into it because we don't talk about it in the shop already, and I want to put that in the public space. But at the same time, let me use the one example that I have of the woman with the boot. How that don't make no sense to me. In the middle of a Pan-African festival, you have a Milky with a boot? How why?
It confusing to a whole lot of people.
I'm not accepting that part.
And what in it stood out for me is it has certain things I don't say at all.
Right.
Simply because I know, if you are around me, you know my mindset to a certain degree when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
So you go come out as almost biased. I know that, right?
Yeah.
Right. So when I saw that the first time, I didn't say nothing. But then you have people coming to me, you feel you're this person.
No, I know it ain't gonna be me alone.
You have people coming to me, what they can. And what's going on, how them here with this thing? Like, I don't know. You understand? I know so many people involved, but I don't have nothing to do with the run-ins and everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what catch me the 2 years is the amount of people that came and asked. And it had nothing to do with exclusionary, just has certain things as far as.
Why it can't just be things
that? As far as. No, you can come and partake And
come and buy.
Buy we out.
Come and buy now, man. Don't go on. Come and buy out all the food. Eat out the food. Or let dance. Feel like African if you want to feel like African.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong.
But you cannot come and benefit financially from what is supposed to be for us. That is my problem.
Right, so let me read these last things here before we go. Mortel say, brothers, whatever happened to Collis Durante? Why that name is so familiar?
Yeah, that name sounds real familiar.
He's not a musician?
I think so.
Taika say, Mortel, he day man, you're looking for him, I think he's a musician. Right, Mortel say, we're not disrespectful to the elders' work. We just don't want to make the same mistakes they made.
Exactly.
Change is inevitable, and we need the younger generation to know their roots. I want to take my time and read that again in my best proper English voice.
Yes.
Jam Mortel Immortel, the great rhapsody artist, said,
"Great.
We are not disrespectful to the elders' work." And I agree with that. I also Richard Ashogel and I agree with that. We just don't want to make the same mistakes they made. Yes. Yeah. And they did make some mistakes, because I heard Brother Winston Sweet in 2018 or 2019 at the commemoration of the Black Power riots up in one of the union halls on Henry Street, giving a talk. And he said that we made some mistakes after. He's one of the men that was prominent in it with Kafa Kamon and them, Brother Kafa Kamon and them. Right? He said we did make some mistakes, certain things we do and certain things we didn't do. Right? So to continue what Mortal was saying, right? We don't want to make the same mistakes they made. Change is inevitable, and we need the younger generation to know their roots. I agree, Mortal, I agree with that comment. Right? Taika say Sankofa isn't about knowing where you come from to know where you're going, but understanding that we are not standing still, we're moving forward.
What, boy?
Sankofa.
Bombs, that's bombs, boy.
For those who don't know what Sankofa is a Dinka symbol.
Yeah.
You could just type in the word, just as it's song is spell it. Sankofa.
Sankofa.
Yeah. Right, so with that, people,
go back and fetch it.
Right? More life in good health. This topic not gonna finish. No. Simply because we know whether we want to say it out loud or publicly, we know that it's time for a change in the African community. Big love and respect to Mr. King.
Yeah.
Isasha, Prophet Benjamin, Ziggy Rankin, Mr. David, King David.
Yeah.
Anybody else on it?
No.
Big respect for that tune. I feel let's start something.
Yeah. But and then you had a big up Isasha again, because remember he and Orlando.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So big respect for that.
Yeah.
For me, I said after it was released, the ball is in the court of the radio stations now.
Yep.
Right? Because for me, that tune supposed to be every hour. Supposed to be playing, right? That tune, Sell Your Gun by Chronix, The Message by Junior Gong and Bungie.
Yeah.
See them three tunes?
Yeah.
And then you add in one or two pieces, right? Yeah. But big respect for that tune.
They can't say it and have enough music now because Mendoza is really.
Oh gosh, we shall learn some boy. Clean up Trinidad.
Yeah.
Come on now, man.
Yeah.
We go play it when we set back up a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. It's on YouTube. Look, play.
Hey, y'all going on there. Everybody who is online, we need a laptop.
Yeah.
Right? That is why we can't function in the manner in which we want to function.
We're functioning from phone right now.
Yeah, we come up, we find a site, well not site, a refurbished one on Amazon. It is costing approximately about, I think it's like 2,100. I could be wrong, but it's about 2,100 TT. I used Dell that could power and do what we had to do. Only feel free, send me a WhatsApp if you could hit me a 200-300, whatever small. We will appreciate it because we really want to get back to the form, because remember, through that now, we could expose people to the music, we could play the clips, all these things, and help really continue the education. You know what I mean? Right now, we kind of walking with a crutch.
Yeah.
We could talk to all, but it have plenty media and things that we want to use
share and share,
because I could have this article on the screen scrolling while we, and them kind of things. So it's really to uplift the program. It's only so much we could do by ourselves, right? We move back home. We not paying no rent. We don't know no big stick over we head. All you know, we could say what we want to say. And as a result of that, the sponsors not really going to be too inclined.
They ain't going to be lining up.
Yeah, they ain't going to be banging down with door to help you out.
This available at this for sale, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that said, Taika say I was only on for a bit, but it's always worth it. Or they could call me. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right?
I watch yourself if you just make a show with all and done, eh?
Yeah, no problems.
What?
No problems. I didn't feel I could do that for 2 hours though.
Right? Yeah, that show gonna be surely 3 hours. Sure, like 3 hours.
Well, I go do all the 2 or 3 hours. I go leave and
you leave and go.
Yeah, but as I say, this is not a short topic simply because we have a lot of people we realize wanted at least converse about what we could do to better our lives as African people.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not going to be a topic that's just going to stop. It is not in any way intended to disrespect anybody, any elder, any person putting in the work now. Yeah. But we all have ideas. Yeah. Right? I'm not saying my idea is going to work.
No, but we gotta try.
There are certain things that we have to try something a little different.
Yeah, we gotta try.
Right? Much love and continued good vibes to the people that put in the work in the different organizations.
Yep.
Right? Love is action with people. Support is action with people. More life and good health. Only the road a little wetty these days. Be careful on the roads out there.
They call it time.
We go see all there again.
Yeah, love and respect. Okay?
Right, so Lalan also I was only on for a short time as well, but fully enjoy the content.
Yeah, man.
Right, Taika say I go get your number from Auto-Link Motel. Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah.
Taika say that.
I'll send you number.
Yeah, you'll get the number for Durante.
Yeah.
So we out, we will be back again, more life and good health.